Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Varen, and I am here today to do at least sort of witchy April plan with me in my witchy bullet journal with y'all. If you've never been here before, as I said, my name is Varen. I am extremely passionate about my journaling, and I use my journal for all sorts of witchy things like tarot and astrology, personal development. It is a cornerstone of my spiritual practice, and it is what I most like to share here on my YouTube channel. If that sounds interesting for you, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell and the like and all of those things. It very much helps me. Yay. Anyway, I'm filming this on the 27th. If all goes according to plan, you will see this on the 29th. I've decided to change my filming and uploading days to what I think will work better for my brain. So my birthday is on Saturday, and I've just realized it's the end of the month and I have to set up, and I've been kind of putting it off. So this is my witchy bullet journal. I do have a playlist of my planners, or not a playlist, planner stack video I did. I'll link that up above in the cards. Essentially, this is my everyday carry. I started bullet journaling in 2016 in A5, and I adore it, though I'm running into a couple of snags. So first things first, we're going to talk about what's going on and see if I can make some decisions. And then we're going to set up for April. That's the plan. So this is all that there is for March, which is quite shocking to me. I started March on page 67, and I'm going to be starting April on page 93. So it's not even 30 pages, which is so stunning to me because I love journaling and I do a lot of journaling. The big difference these days is that I have a specifically witchy journal. And this is where I do all of my kind of creative journaling, my tarot journaling and stuff. I'm going to be filming a video with this soon. So stay tuned for that. But this is where I've been doing my most active journaling. It's still not super I've been going in this since the beginning of the year, and it's not filling up so fast, but it is filling up. So I'm actually going to need to order a new one at some point, so I'm ready. But this I just use for my productivity to kind of keep me going. And I've been having some issues with it. The main issue, so what I have in here is I have my front matter, my year ahead spread, my moons. I did a different moon spread in my witchy journal. When I started this and split this out, what I did was all of my intense spiritual journaling goes in the other journal. And this is just my daily stuff. This is what keeps my brain going. Because my brain does really well when I use bullet journaling. And so this is essentially to help keep me functional. So I do have witchy stuff in here, but it's because it's a day-to-day thing. So I have my tarot tracker here. I do this every day. So it makes sense to put this in my everyday. Whereas my spiritual journal, I don't always touch it and use it every single day. So I had my January set up, started very basically, and it was going really good when I started in January. And then over time, it started to fall off again. Here's February. I started to have trouble using it again. And part of what's going on with this is my life has drastically changed from when I started journaling. When I started bullet journaling, I was a stay-at-home mother. And my son was home with me. He wasn't in school yet. And here's March. He wasn't in school yet. He was home with me. And I would spend hours poring over this. And I wasn't as deep into my spirituality as I am now. And I was home all day, every day. For years and years and years, up until last year, I've been home almost all day, every day. And then last summer happened, and we made some pretty big life changes. I've mentioned before that my wife and I've been with my wife for 12 years. We've been together, 10 years we've been married. We've gone poly. If you have any issues with that, you can take those issues and fuck off with them, because I don't give a shit. We started going out. We started finding in-person community, in-person friends, and I have a new partner. I've been with them a few months now. So I go out multiple times a week. The point of that being, when I started bullet journaling, I used to very religiously, very ritualistically do my dailies the night before. I would sit down in the evening around 8 o'clock at night, and I would do that. I'm not always home at 8 o'clock at night these days, so doing that doesn't work. There's a lot of routine and structure and ritual that I've had in my life has shifted, and it hasn't quite caught up to where I am now. So I've started running into problems. So here's my March setup page. I used to do themes like I used to do the theme of it based on my year ahead spread, what my monthly card was. I don't really miss doing that in here because I just need this. I need a notebook that is more basic, that can just function. I do still put witchy information in there, but it tends to be more of a reference point to help me with my planning. And I'm exploring other options with that. So I need something that's just basic for just a place for me to write my list, to capture my thoughts so I can organize them. So here's March. So what I've been doing is just kind of picking a theme based on how I'm feeling. And like I do sort of pick colors and stuff based on what's going on, but it's not as in depth as it used to be. And I don't necessarily plan to share a lot of this journal, more so of my Witchy Journal. I have my calendar. I keep this to keep track of taking meds. I have stopped doing my, what the hell is it called? Habit tracker. I've fallen off of that. And I've fallen off of even doing my memories and my gratitude log. I don't want to stop doing these completely. And I have a victory spread, but I don't know about that. And then I do my brain dump. And that's really all I do. So then I have, the rest of my month has just been, here's the dailies. Here's the weekly spread I currently use. I always do this, so I have the moon so I can plan, because I do spiritual shit based on the moon. So I have the moon so I can plan. And then I have a task list each week. And then I have normally a 2-page spread of my dailies. And this is how it's gone all month. Week 1 of March, week 1, the dailies, week 2, dailies, week 3, dailies, week 4, dailies. So here goes this. So I need to determine first, this is where I plan to put April. So I need to determine first what kind of things I want to keep going. I definitely want my calendar. I don't care about that. So we're going to use this page just to jot some notes for now. So we're going to keep calendar. Scrap. I'm going to scrap the habit tracker. I'm just truly not using it. So I'm going to scrap that. But I'm going to keep the calendar because I actively do use this. I do want to keep the memories log. Because part of what I'm doing is I'm trying to kick my own ass and just build a consistent practice with this. Like maybe instead of doing it in the evening like I used to, it makes more sense for me to do it in the morning, because no matter what, I'm always here in the morning. So that might be the best time for me to do that instead. Victories can go. No victories. I do want brain dump. I've actually been using this a lot. And using basic lists like this has turned into the main thing that helps keep my brain on top of life. Maybe I'll do a video about that. And this right here is a live example of why I love bullet journaling so much. Everything goes into the daily. So I think I'm going to make a video of the main, how I use my bullet journal, which involves my brain dump list. So I have one of these every month. I have lists back here. So I think I'm going to do a video on that because I think that could be really good. So I definitely need the brain dump. And then otherwise, I bought this Diviner's Definitions Oracle. And I think it could be really fun to do a word of the day tracker. I think I would want to put the word of the day tracker in here because this is the one I'm trying to use every day. And I just like to see sometimes, like I just want to see if I'm getting the same word over and over again. I like to see if there's a pattern in the words and that kind of shit. So I think I'm going to put that in here, but I will have to think more about that and keep going. So this is going to be the calendar. And then memories, gratitude, and then if I do the word of the day in here, maybe I'll just do, I could just put the word of the day on my header of each day. I don't know. And then this would be like the brain dump. Because if I don't do a word of the day, then I'll have a difficulty because this would be week 1 of April. And then I'd be into my dailies. I think that's the main plan for now, which is good. The one thing I want to do to like finish plotting out is I always do my calendar. So and April starts on a Monday and there's 5 Mondays and 5 Tuesdays. Perfect. I fucking centered it out almost perfectly. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the way I do the calendar. I just put in the dots as my guide. This is the way I've been doing this for so many years. The other thing is, there is a chance when you see this, or shortly after you see this, that I'm running the risk of doing a double April setup, which is a thing I have done before, because I was speaking to a lovely client I was speaking to someone who found me as a viewer and then became a client of mine. I am a professional tarot reader and astrologer. You can check out my website, link down below in the description box. And we hit it off right away, and they became a very dear friend. So I was chatting with them and a different person who, same story. We were having a witchy hangout, and I was talking about the problem is, like, I'm not home every evening. And so one of them was like, what about a smaller notebook that you can take with you? And very kindly, she's sending me a box with a whole bunch of stuff. But one of the things she's sending me is a traveler's notebook size journal from Archer and Olive, which should fit in my wallet. I have a Moterm wallet, and I'm kind of geeked out on the idea of this small notebook that I can, that opens into a more perfect square, because it's tall, but it's not very wide. So when it opens, it's more like a square. B, or at least it's closer to a square than this rectangle. B, I'm geeked out on the idea that because this journaling has become so fucking simplistic for me, because my other journal is where all the like magic fancy stuff happens. This is literally just to keep my brain going, because that's how it's turned and developed for me. It could actually work really well to have a journal that is smaller, that's just the most simplistic setup, that when I go to leave for the evening, when I go out, I just tuck it in my wallet and I have it with me all the time. So we are running the risk of doing one of those kinds of setups where I set up for April in one journal and then get a new journal and then set up for April in that. So we shall see. That depends on how long it takes to get here, because they have to mail it. Anyway, so this is how this is it, how I do the initial setup. Let me just actually quickly do one more quick step. 37. I need to do 31, so I do 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Actually, it's only 30, but I like to center out 1, 2, 3. And then here, if I do the 1, 2, 3, the word of the day, 2, 3, 4. This should be where the numbers go. The other factor that's influencing my journaling is I've finally come up in the world and I have purchased my first tablet. It's a tablet. It is not an iPad. I am not that fancy. And let's close this so we don't get a... Why is this going on? Go to home screen. There we go. I've got my first tablet. And so I've been fucking around with Samsung Notes and creating some things. We're going to do a video on this astrology calendar. But I didn't actually want to click on it to show you, but we're going to do a video on that. But I've been fucking around with, like, what about if I set up my weekly in here? Because since this is Samsung and my phone is Samsung, apparently when I do stuff on here, it can go to my phone as well. So either way, I've been fucking around with that. And it is a lot of fun to play around and set up things in here. So I'm figuring out like what kinds of things I can set up in here. Well, like I said, we're going to do a video on the astrology calendar, and then this is just a bunch of templates. So this also is factoring in. I highly doubt I'm going to use this for my Fallout planner, because my favorite thing is to like fully journal. Like I need the pen and paper, but this, I think I'll use this for like work planning and other things that are a bit more like reference. So there is that. So that's the first bits of consideration. And I have to go now because I have a client. So I have to go and get ready for that. With the magic of video editing, I will be right back. And we're going to be into the part where I'm going to get into setting this up, and I'm going to speed up the footage and put some music, maybe do a voiceover, probably just put some music, and then we'll get to the rest of the video. Be right back. Well, I fucking hate that, but whatever. It's fine. It's just the title page.
It's just the idea at the moment. We'll see what actually happens.
The problem I'm having is I don't really know, like... This is my color scheme I picked. And I don't really know what to do. I like the bright, sunny aspect, so I'm just gonna, though, imagine the sun instead of drawing the sun. And this orange is nice, but it's not, like, my favorite of the colors. I pick the colors when I do my predictions in my other journal. When I do my predictions for the season, for the sun season, so I did my predictions for Aries season, I pick the colors and I switch them in that journal, and then I switch them later here. I'm just gonna... That's slightly better. It's fucking terrible, but you know what? This is fine. This doesn't need to be super fancy. I think I am going to color in down here, though. So let me just... And quite honestly, as I was talking about when I did the first part of filming, where the fuck is the green I want? Aha! I really do expect at this point that I'm going to, that once I get the traveler's size notebook in. I'm going to end up setting that up. And I think that could be really good because the thing I've learned about myself and journaling over the years is that it's really hard for me to pour my heart and soul into many separate things. I do better in a one and done thing. The only reason I took out my daily stuff out of the B5 size. Let me get a sharpener. The reason I took my stuff out of the B5 size where I was using it is because I couldn't get it to work. I tried the B5 size for over a year and I couldn't get the functionality I needed working with that size. I need a bullet journal for dailies. I need to have some form of dailies so I can do just fucking jot lists to keep my brain clear. This I like better than the first page. Okay. Last 4 pages. I need a journal because I use the lists to keep my thoughts organized. Like having the lists that I use helps me remember stuff more. Writing things down helps me remember what's going on in my daily life. When I don't do my daily, when I don't spend a little bit of time and do my daily, I end up almost forgetting even appointments I have. So I very much use my dailies, and the act of writing things down tells me, okay, this is happening today, this is happening today. So I've really clarified for myself that what my bullet journal does for me is it shows me what's going on in my life. Because yeah, I have it on my calendar, on my Google Calendar, but I have to scroll to see all of that. I can't see it all in one glance. I need to be able to just write things down so I feel organized and ready to take on the day. It works okay if I do it in the morning, as long as I do it first thing in the morning. That doesn't seem to be causing too much of an issue for me. I really don't like this orange very much. I don't like that. I'm going to try this way. I don't need this journal to do much else because my Witchy Journal, I like that better. Yeah. Yep. This is, all right, we got it. This I like. This I actively like. Great. I don't need this journal to do much because most of the in-depth stuff I do works really well in a B5 size. So, this can be done really simply. And I don't want to spend a lot of time on this kind of journaling. This, I would prefer and love all of my things to be in one book. But functional wise, that doesn't work for me because I have found that the larger size, the B5 size that I use, works better for my witchy and spiritual journaling, of which I do a lot. And I have found that it doesn't work. I've tried so many different ways. And it just doesn't work well for the practical journaling I do to help keep my brain clear, to help me feel organized and prepared to take on the day. I did this reading, working on setting up April and filming a video. So this I need this I do from necessity. And I do it for function. I like to make it look pretty because that's just how I like to do things. And so I am wondering if maybe the smaller size, I feel like the smaller size could work really well functionally for the stuff I need. Because I'm not doing the spiritual journaling and stuff. I don't do it in here anymore. I do, I reference the spiritual stuff, like how I reference the moons. But I don't even need that to be there. I just need to have a place to reference it while planning, which... Stay tuned because that astrology planner or calendar I created that I told you we're going to do a video of, that would be a really great thing for me to, I built that for this kind of a thing to help me with it. So I'm preparing already, but we've got April all set up. I don't know if or what I'm going to do here. Here's the title page. As I said, I hate it, but I just like to do something to signify that I'm flipping into the new month. So there's April. My calendar's all ready to go. I have a memory log, a gratitude log. I hope I remember to use these more. A word of the day and my brain dump. I think I'm going to lean into doing my planning in the morning because I'm always home in the morning. I'm not always home in the evening. So I think that will work. And the new size will allow me to, when I'm not home, still carry it with me with just a pen and still use it functionally. And then later when I get home, I can add a splash of color if I want to. No big deal. Because like this, I can do this header with just my pen and then add the splash and then add the details when I get home and still be ready to go without it being a whole thing. So there's my thing. And there's an update on this journal. I don't think we're going to spend as much time in this journal as we used to. I think more of our videos are going to be focused on my spiritual and witchy journal. And I am thinking of doing a journal. Sorry, not doing a journal. And my oven's beeping because food. I'm thinking of doing a video of setting up the new journal when I get it, the Traveler's Notebook size one. If that is something you would be interested in, please let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, though, this is where I'm going to leave you. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up to let me know if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so you can come on back nice and easily. I'm going to let you go here, and I will see you all very soon. Lots of love. Bye.